I'm Sean Kennedy, and this is Backstage at the Enharmonic. Thanks for tuning in to this very special edition of Backstage at the Enharmonic, the Drum Rudiment edition. I asked 10 of my favorite drummers from all different genres to tell me what their favorite drum rudiment is, why, and to do a quick demonstration. So what's a drum rudiment? Well, it's a small series of patterns that form the foundation of more complex drumming patterns. The drum rudiments are the fundamentals of our drum language, similar to scales and chords that melodic instruments might use. Well, this tradition of drumming originated in Europe, in Swiss mercenary armies around the 1500s, and they used drums to signal troops on the battlefield. The tradition continued into the 20th century, but eventually left the battlefield and became a codified set of drumming standards that we've been using ever since. In 1933, a group of drummers got together called the National Association of Rudimental Drummers, or NARD, and established the standard 26 American drum rudiments. And by 1984, the Percussive Art Society added 14 more rudiments to this. And now we use the 40 international snare drum rudiments. Two of my favorite drum rudiments are rudiments called the Swiss Army Triplet and the Paradiddle Diddle. I was going to demonstrate them, but two of my guests chose those, so I'll let them do the demos. First up is a great drummer and dear friend, Tommy Campbell. Tommy Campbell toured and played with the likes of Dizzy Gillespie, Ella Fitzgerald, Sonny Rollins, the Mingus Big Band, and many more. So here's Tommy's take on the rudiments.
One of my favorite rudiments, absolute favorite, probably in the top 10, is the 7-stroke roll. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And the reason why I like it is because it's one less than 8. Really. That's how I got to know it and I got to feel the shape of it. And so that's one reason why I like it.
Next is another incredible drummer, one of my absolute heroes from my earliest days of playing drums, Clayton Cameron, known as the Brushmaster. This guy played with Tony Bennett, Sammy Davis Jr., need I say more, and has written a great book called Brushworks, which you should pick up, published by Carl Fisher Music. Here is Clayton's favorite rudiment.
Hello everyone, I'm Clayton Cameron. I'm here to share my favorite rudiment. I'd have to say it's the paradiddle, or anything based on a paradiddle, like a double paradiddle or a paradiddle diddle. The reason is because they translate so well to the brushes. Those diddles can be substituted for so many sounds that the brushes can make. So one of my favorites, which you'll find in my book Brushworks, is the tap sweep, where you tap and sweep, or a slittle, where you sweep back and forth, a friddle, where you roll back and forth, a flex, so you strike twice, like a diddle. And so they sound something like this when you substitute them in a paradiddle. So here's the paradiddle. Tap sweep. Slittle. Friddle. And then the flexes. So my favorite rudiment would be the paradiddle.
Next up is a great friend and certified rock legend, Liberty DeVito from the Billy Joel Band, who currently plays with the Lords of 52nd Street, the Slim Kings, and has worked with the likes of Karen Carpenter, Meatloaf, Paul McCartney, etc. So here's Liberty and his favorite rudiment.
Hi there, I'm Liberty DeVito, and one of my favorite rudiments is the flam. I love the flam. I use it so many times while I'm playing. Usually to start a song. We always start songs with flams. And then there's, if I'm playing a groove, I like to use it as a fill. Something like that. Or flam. I like to use it between my bass drum and my hands. John Bonham was famous for it. Yeah. The flam. Remember it, you'll use it a lot. Ciao.
Let's change gears now and check out Matt Howard's favorite rudiment. Matt currently is the principal percussionist with the Los Angeles Philharmonic.
Hey Sean, thanks for sending me those questions. So I have some answers for you. So for the first question, you said, what rudiment do I like the best and why? And I think it has to be a paradiddle for me. I'm always a fan of, the combinations of ones and twos and threes between hands, and, how complex it gets, and adding in, rolls, diddles, flams, drags, whatever. It's pretty addicting. So as a bass, paradiddles are amazing because you could do so much with them.
Staying in the symphonic world, let's check out David Liu's favorite rudiment from the Shanghai Philharmonic Orchestra.
My personal favorite rudiment most definitely has to be the Swiss Army Triplet. The Swiss Army Triplet is fundamentally rooted in the double stroke. The doubles combine with the underlying triplet rhythm to create something that has a lot of natural horizontal flow, which means we can easily execute this rudiment with exceptional speed. I additionally like to apply the sticking from the Swiss Army Triplet to numerous other non-triplet based rhythms. It's especially important for us orchestral percussionists to understand the Swiss Army Triplet sticking well, as it helps us execute a myriad of complex and fast rhythmic passages found all over the repertoire, in places such as Shostakovich symphonies, military music, and this excerpt from Schnittke's Viola Concerto.
Next up is a band leader and drummer extraordinaire, Sherry Miracle, leader of the Diva Jazz Orchestra. Let's check out what she likes.
Okay, Sean Kennedy, you asked for it. You asked a trick question because there's no way a drummer can pick their favorite rudiment. But for the purposes of answering your question in this very teeny tiny sliver of time, in this moment, I'm going to go for the paradiddle because it's very diverse. It's our perfect combination of singles and doubles. Works great for funk drumming, as everybody knows. That same just paradiddle sticking, change into a samba foot. It's a really nice samba. Works great as a jazz fill as eighth note triplets. It's so diverse. It's a great rudiment, and man, I love it.
Lots of you out there might know my next guest. He's been drumming with Weird Al since the beginning, John Bermuda Schwartz.
I'm particularly proud of my rolls, but in real-world playing, I use flams the most.
Let's go over to Broadway now with Chihiro Shibayama, an incredible percussionist that's performed in tons of Broadway shows.
my name is Chihiro Shibayama, and my favorite rudiment is flam taps. When I work on flam taps, I think of it as triple bounced stroke on each hand. Because when you combine them, it becomes flam tap. So if you're having trouble playing flam taps, I'll definitely break it down to practicing triple bounced consistently on both hands. That's that. Thank you.
Hey, let's head south and check out impresario, businessman, jazz drummer, and the producer of Drummer Nation Online, Mike Vosbein.
My favorite rudiment would have to be the paradiddle diddle. Right, left, left, left. Paradiddle diddle. Pretty easy to hear the ride pattern in that. That's my take on things. I could be wrong. Thanks, Sean.
What better way to conclude a segment on rudimental drumming than to include the world's foremost authority on rudimental drumming and education, Dr. John Wooten.
Hey, I'm John Wooten, and I'm here to tell you about my favorite rudiment, the Rudiment. I love Rudiment simply because they're fun to play. I love playing Rudiment. All right, so here's the Rudiment in its natural habitat with the accent on the upbeat. A Rudiment, a Rudiment, a Rudiment, a Rudiment. You can put the accent on the downbeat too. Q, Rudiment, a Rudiment, Rudiment, Rudiment. And then maybe do a little drill where you're playing both of those. Check this out. You have a double Rudiment in there too. All right, but don't stop there. Let's put the accent on the E. I'm going to play 1/16th note and then boom, starting the accent, the Q on the E of the beat. Here's a little drill you can do. Yeah, or on the play a single drag and then start your Rudiment on the of 1. Like this. 3M. Oh yeah, that's funky, like a bow-legged monkey. Let's put those two together. 2, 3M. Yeah, but my favorite thing to do with the Rudiment is backstick the accents. Check this out. The Rudiment. I'm John Wooten. Play some Rudiment. They're fun.
Thanks again for checking out this special edition of Backstage at the Enharmonic, the Drum Rudiment edition. Please check out all the great resources and performances available online by all of my guests. And please consider subscribing to Backstage at the Enharmonic. And leave us a comment if you like what we did or have a suggestion for another show. Thanks for listening.